So the next 3 books are a trilogy, and I read the first one last year and fell in love with this writer and read all of them except the second and third book in this trilogy, obviously, as you do. The first one is Charade by Nairé or Nairé Dawn, and I loved it, but never read the second and third, as I said. But then I was at W.H. Smith, I think it was Salisbury or Winchester, and I saw the third book, which is Masquerade, but I didn't realise it was the third book, even though it says so on the back. I didn't realise that. So, and then I went online on the book depository and decided to get the first and the second book, because I only read it as an ebook. And I got them, and then read Facade, which is the second book, and then Masquerade. So I had the trilogy complete, and I really like these covers. They're simple, but the title really pops out, and I love it. Next book, I have no idea what it's about. Don't really care, but my first host family took me, and they owned a cottage, like a typical English cottage, and there was so much work that needed to be done in that cottage that during the Easter break, the kids and I were sent to their grandparents in Moraira in Spain for a week, and I wanted to get something from there. Obviously I got a bookmark, which I usually do, but I also bought a book, and that book was Lucky in Love by Jill Shelvis, or Shelves, I'm not sure. It's a Lucky Harvard novel. I have no idea what it's about, but it looked really good. Again, I haven't read it yet. Then I was on Amazon and I saw a book that I had read earlier that year, but I didn't buy it because I said these books are quite expensive. Books are quite expensive in general, but especially these ones. And this one was only £3, which meant that I had to get it because I just couldn't. That book is Wicked Sexy Liar by Christina Lauren. I own most of the books. I think I'm missing 1 or 2 besides the novellas, because I haven't got the novellas in paperback, but I love this and I had to get it. It was a bit dented, but then again it was only £2 or £3, so I couldn't really. Then the next one is the second book in the, maybe it says on the Thunder Road series, I think it's called. It's the second book. I've got the first one, read it last year, and I've got it in hardback, but the hardback was quite expensive and I didn't want to buy it in back there. As I said, I had to take everything back home, and I was thinking shipping costs would be quite expensive. That is Walk the Edge by Katie McGarry, and I love the first one. Haven't read this one, but I can't wait to read it. Remember when I was talking about, where is it? Somewhere. There is. Discovery of Witches, which was recommended to me. The next book series, I think it's been quite popular on BookTube. I've never read this series because I own a book which I'm not sure what it's called. Can't remember. Anyway, Laini Taylor wrote a short story in that book, and I didn't really like her writing style, but then I picked this one, Daughter of Smoke and Bone up, and I have not read it yet, but she recommended it to me and she said it was really good, even though you had to get into it. So I'm going to give it a try anyway. I just bought the first one and didn't buy the second and third, obviously for the reason that if I didn't like it, I could. I haven't read the next one either. It's called Rebel of the Sands by Elwyn Hamilton. I was buying Uprooted by Naomi Novik from Waterstones, and it was buy one get one half price, and had to find a second one. Obviously couldn't find one, then just decided to pick this one up as I heard quite good things about it. Again, haven't read it yet, but will. As I said, Uprooted, read it, took me a while, but loved it. I love her writing style. It's so poetic, or whatever you want to call it. Last year, before I left, I bought Between the Pages by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van and the SPQR book, which is somewhere there, was buy one get one half price, as I said, and I had to buy a second one, which is this one, which is Off the Page, which is, I don't think it's a sequel, but it's a companion to the other book. Haven't read the other book yet, but we'll read it soon, and then we'll read this one. We're on to the last 4 books. The next book is the 5th book in a series, which I have been highly anticipating this year because it's the conclusion to the series, and I've loved the series, and I've been reading it since 2012, I think. I think the first 2 books were out then, or just the first one. It's One With You by Sylvia Day, and it's a Crossfire novel. The Crossfire series is the series it belongs to. And I read this, pre-ordered it, loved it, and I'm so happy that before I left, before I came to UK, I reread the first 4 because I wasn't too sure what happened. And I was so happy because it made me able to dive straight into it without having to look up what happened and what I missed. This one was quite a whim, a book that I bought on a whim because I have no idea what it's about. It's The Accidental Call Girl by Portia de Costa. It was in the same section as several other books that I bought, and it looked intriguing, and I just got it. Haven't read it yet. The next book, the second to last, is a book that I finished yesterday. I just read it yesterday, and it's If You Leave by Courtney Cole. I saw it on the Book Depository when I bought the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I didn't realise it was a book 2 as it says on the spine, but I got it and it was a book 2. Thankfully, they're all based on different couples in the same town, but I was kind of bummed when I realised that, because I didn't read the first one because I didn't know that it was the first one, and I ordered the first, the third and the fourth yesterday, so they should arrive this weekend. But Courtney Cole by If You Leave, and it was so good. It's about an ex-army soldier who has PTSD, and Madison, who has lost her parents and lost so much, and then meets the army soldier. I love books like that. And the last one is a book that I read last week. It's the newest book by Paige Toon, and it's the one we fell in love with. I read all of Paige Toon's books that were out, because this one wasn't out then, obviously. And I read them all last year, back to back. And this is the 10th book. And I know there's she's got 3 young adult books as well, but I haven't read it yet. My sister has them, so I should. But this one was amazing. It's about triplets who fall in love with the same guy who moves in next door. And it was amazing. But yes, so that was it. But thank you for watching, and I hope to keep my booktube videos up from now on. I know I've said that before, but I'm really planning on doing so. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.